What if the secret to irresistible attraction lies not in words or gestures, but in the silent force you carry within? Discover how mastering your emotions and embracing Stoic principles can make your presence truly magnetic, drawing others in effortlessly and making you undefeatable. Ready to unlock the power of silent strength? How Stoic Men Create Lasting Attraction. Stoic Male Energy, compiled and published by Stoic Ruler. Lesson 1. Master emotional self-control. Imagine standing in the heart of a storm, the wind howling around you, every force trying to push you from your center. Yet you remain unshaken, anchored like a stone beneath raging waves. There is something magnetic about this unwavering stillness, a quiet fire that refuses to flicker no matter how tumultuous the world becomes. In this place, emotional mastery is not just a shield, but a beacon. It is the invisible glow that others sense and respect, even before a word is spoken. Modern life constantly puts your emotional balance to the test. One moment, you are confronted with a jab from a coworker. The next, faced with disappointment or the sting of rejection. Anxiety rises, anger flashes, fear creeps in. So often, the inner landscape mirrors a battlefield, with internal tempests tearing through your thoughts without warning. Even when you want to project strength or calm to those around you, old triggers easily pull you off course, and the burden of emotions feels heavier than armor. All the advice in the world to just stay calm or let it go rings hollow when the storm is already inside you. Many men carry silent struggles within, an urge to lash out, to withdraw, to let fleeting emotions decide the weather of their day. In every gaze they meet, whether in work, love, or competition, there is pressure to prove themselves unbreakable, to show nothing, to be endlessly composed. It is exhausting to uphold this facade when frustration boils beneath the surface and doubt whispers in quiet moments. The quest for Stoic self-discipline becomes a chase after smoke. How do you grasp composure that seems to slip away right when you need it most? The effort to suppress or ignore emotions only seems to make them louder, stronger, more destabilizing. Even those who genuinely desire mastery find themselves time and again at the mercy of fiery reactions and moods they wish they could control. But what if you could become the archer who, rather than firing wildly at emotions as if they were enemies, learns instead to steady his aim and observe each feeling as it appears? Emotional self-control doesn't demand cold detachment or suppression. Instead, it requires a radical shift, a transformation of your relationship to emotion itself. Picture your emotions not as threats to be vanquished, but as wild horses. Powerful, quick to stir, full of energy. The goal is not to cage them, but to become their skilled rider. This is the silent Stoic's art, acknowledging every feeling without being ruled by it, accepting fear as a teacher, anger as a signal, sadness as a message, but never surrendering the reins. When you master emotional control, you become the calm captain steering his ship through fog and rough water, never letting the chaos above the surface dictate the course within. There is ancient wisdom in this centering approach. The earliest Stoic philosophers honored a simple truth. While you may not choose every event that comes your way, you can always choose your response. When you become deliberate and intentional with your emotions, you unlock a strength that is both subtle and undefeatable. Emotional mastery grants access to a rare power, the ability to act with purpose rather than react out of panic or pride. Instead of swinging from high to low, you find you can generate internal stillness, an unwavering core that no external drama can touch. With each moment of conscious control, your mind becomes more disciplined, your spirit more attractive in its calm resilience. The world senses that rooted energy, and it pulls people in far more powerfully than any display of bravado or force. The beauty of this journey is that every step toward mastery plants seeds that will bear fruit across every domain in your life. As you learn to witness emotions without immediate attachment, you become harder to provoke, harder to throw off balance. Fear transforms from an overwhelming storm to a gentle guide. Anger's flash becomes a signal to seek clarity before action. This disciplined stillness liberates you from cycles of regret, rash words, and unnecessary conflict. The still fire burning in your soul becomes the light by which you navigate relationships, career, and adversity. Emotional self-control doesn't mean feeling nothing. It means feeling everything with awareness and directing that energy toward growth and self-respect. There's a quiet satisfaction in knowing that, no matter how wild the tides of circumstance or conflict may become, you are the calm at the center. This not only strengthens your own spirit and mind, but radiates outward, drawing respect, admiration, and authentic connection from others. As you train your mind daily to recognize, reflect on, and channel each emotion, you forge habits that become the very foundation of lasting impact and undefeatable confidence. This is the journey and the gift of mastering emotional control, a silent, unmistakable strength the world cannot ignore. Start by pausing when emotions rise, breathing deeply, and labeling what you feel without judgment. Practice reflecting before you react and visualize yourself as the calm center in every challenge. Each time you respond with awareness, your mind gets stronger and peace replaces chaos. Embrace this discipline daily, and soon you'll notice greater clarity, deeper respect from others, and a profound internal confidence, serene yet powerful. Take a moment now to try this exercise with today's challenges, and remind yourself that growth is built step by step over time. Next, you'll discover how to build unwavering inner confidence, the kind that stays silent yet radiates strength. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share how you're mastering emotional control with Stoic Ruler. Lesson 2. Build quiet inner confidence. Picture for a moment a mountain at dawn, its peak unwavering and silent, its foundation deep and unseen beneath the mist. Even as storm winds howl and thunder crawls across the sky, this mountain stands, unshaken in its secrecy, its presence quietly commanding everything around it. In a world seemingly obsessed with noise and attention, the power of quiet inner confidence is a rare and stoic force, often invisible but undeniably strong. Beneath the surface, it is the root from which true resilience, calm, and attraction grow. A deep certainty carried in your walk, your words, and the silent moments in between. Many people know too well the persistent internal conflict of self-doubt. On the surface, you may play the part, presenting competence and cheer, but inside there's that quiet question: am I enough? The voice runs endless circles around past mistakes, holding you hostage to memories of failure or rejection. There is a constant sense of needing to prove yourself, measuring every victory by someone else's standards, fearing that at any moment the mask might slip. Outward successes suddenly feel empty when the deeper roots of confidence are never nurtured. Admiration and validation slip through your fingers like water. Still, the world teaches that to be respected, you must always be performing, always bigger and bolder and louder, when, in truth, the most unshakable leaders often speak little, moving through the world with a certainty that needs no announcement. The pain points of seeking confidence outside yourself can be heavy to carry. You may find yourself chasing after approval, changing course at every shifting opinion, or letting jealousy dictate how you feel about yourself when faced with the strengths of others. It begins to feel like you're walking a tightrope, carefully balancing every word and action for fear of falling short in someone else's eyes. This delicate act breeds anxiety, burnout, and detachment from your own sense of purpose. Even as you try to build yourself up, insecurity finds ways to tear you down, and every compliment or achievement is quickly overshadowed by new fears or old doubts. Here lies the transformative solution. Instead of molding yourself for the world, begin quietly building a foundation of confidence within. Envision yourself not as the restless bird battered by each wind, but as the calm mountain growing silently from its roots, self-assured no matter what tempo the world keeps. The wisdom of the Stoics was sincere. True confidence is built not upon applause or status, but through private actions, personal integrity, and the cultivation of your own values and strengths. This kind of self-assurance is invisible but unmistakable. It grows from keeping promises to yourself and facing your private trials with honesty, not from showcasing bravado or flaunting your victories. Building quiet inner confidence begins gently, sometimes with small, nearly invisible steps. It's in refusing to speak ill of yourself when you falter. In recognizing your worth is not tied to outcomes or opinions, but to how steadfastly you live your values. In developing a keen, almost silent discipline, Treat yourself like the silent archer who focuses on steadying his breath instead of impressing the audience. Each disciplined action, each moment of self-respect, forges a layer of invisible armor, a resilience the world cannot easily see, but will always feel. As you practice this ancient discipline, day by day, your presence becomes more grounded, undisturbed by passing storms, more attractive to others, not because you are shouting to be heard, but because the constancy of your energy quietly fills the room. The world may be loud, but it is often the silent Stoic, the one who radiates calm certainty, who makes the lasting impression and unlocks the greatest potential in himself and those around him. Start each morning reflecting on your core strengths. Celebrate quiet wins, and keep promises you make to yourself, no matter how small. As you build this habit, notice how you feel calmer and stand taller, unaffected by outside noise. Commit to this silent growth today. In the next lesson, we'll break free from external validation. Comment, like, subscribe, and share your journey below. Lesson 3. Detach from external validation. Outside the window, the world roars with opinions. An ocean of voices that rise and fall like crashing waves, each one seeking your ear, each one carrying judgment, expectation, or praise. Imagine yourself as a lone vessel on these restless seas, navigating beneath silent stars, trusting your compass when all you hear is the endless chorus of approval and criticism. Deep inside, many find themselves longing to be seen, hoping for applause, assurance, or the fleeting spark of validation from those around them. This longing for recognition is ancient, but in the modern age, it intensifies every time a notification flashes, a like appears, or an absence of response sends doubt washing over your self-assurance like cold rain. It's not weakness to admit that attention feels uplifting, or that criticism can leave a mark. Inside each of us is the desire to belong. And for so many, the search for external validation dictates the shape of our days. How quickly have you adapted a second face when entering a crowded room? How often have your words bent like reeds in the wind, shaped more for acceptance than honesty? Beneath each of these habits lies a subtle conflict. The more you strive to be approved by others, the less you recognize your own authentic desires and boundaries. You may find yourself anxiously replaying interactions, measuring your worth against compliments, or obsessively watching for responses and reactions that ultimately you cannot control. Over time, this dependence on validation acts like a chain, holding you captive to moods and opinions outside yourself. The compliments and approval that once lifted you become essential, raising the stakes with each interaction, until your inner peace is always at the mercy of outside forces. When approval is withdrawn, even briefly, it can leave you stranded in self-doubt or shame, suddenly invisible or unworthy according to the ever-shifting standards of others. It's exhausting, living like a mariner, measuring course not by stars but by waves, always tossed in directions beyond your choosing. The transformative solution, deceptively simple yet profound, is to gently untangle yourself from this web of seeking. Picture the seasoned archer who, ignoring the watching crowd, takes aim only for the bullseye he alone can see. Or the silent Stoic who sits with his own thoughts, letting external noise pass overhead like weather, never sinking roots into the wind. Detachment from external validation does not mean indifference to people or the wider world. Rather, it is the art of grounding your sense of worth in values, principles, and goals you choose, unmoved by fleeting judgment or acceptance. This perspective is itself a shield. By returning again and again to the question, who am I becoming in my actions, instead of what do they think of me, you anchor yourself in something sturdier and more reliable than praise. Each time you decline the invitation to people please, to bend for approval, or to over-justify your choices, you strengthen the core of your soul. With daily effort, you train your mind to treat compliments and criticism alike as weather, temporary, outside of you, and fleeting. As this habit deepens, you'll find a vital transformation. Fear of rejection loses its sharpness, anxiety softens, and the mind grows disciplined and calm, untouched by every ripple of outside opinion. When you detach from the hunger for validation, something unlocks within you. You become more present in the moment, more confident in your silent strengths, and bolder in living according to your authentic truth. people start to sense your undefeatable calm and are drawn to this disciplined stillness. A magnetic energy born not from chasing approval, but from mastering your own direction, regardless of the world's ever-changing tides. This ancient wisdom is as alive today as it has ever been, offering freedom to those who dare to train their minds in the art of Stoic detachment. Pause each time you seek approval and gently ask, "What would I choose if no one were watching?" Affirm your own values and reflect on actions that align with them. Over time, you'll notice greater confidence, calm, and true independence in your choices. Practice this daily. Next, discover how daily presence sharpens your self-mastery. Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts below. Lesson 4. Cultivate powerful presence daily. Picture a candle burning steady in a darkened room, its glow undiminished by shadows or passing gusts of wind. This unwavering light touches everything nearby, imbues the space with calm, and draws the gaze not through force but through the subtle command of its steady presence. True presence is this invisible gravity, a silent force that others feel before you speak, an energy that changes a room as soon as you enter it. Such presence is not reserved for those with fame or status. It is a skill, ancient as the Stoics, cultivated day after day, choice after choice, until it shines from within, permanent and quiet. Yet, if you are honest, how often does the noise of your thoughts dim your natural glow? Many find themselves walking through the day like sleepwalkers, heads cast down, minds racing miles ahead or years behind, missing the pace and pulse of actual life. In a conversation, you might catch yourself distracted and only half listening, not truly engaging with the moment or the person in front of you. Your mind pulls you away, rehearsing worries, replaying what-ifs, fixating on yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's anxieties. As a result, your energy scatters, silence is awkward, interactions feel superficial. Instead of being the steady lighthouse, you flicker and fade, present in body but absent in spirit. This scattered way of living comes at a high cost. Without presence, your actions are reactionary, your words lack weight, and your ability to connect with others, whether in work, friendship, or attraction, remains shallow. The world takes notice, even if unconsciously. People with little presence are easily overlooked, their opinions drowned in the noise, their contributions unrecognized. You may find yourself frustrated that others seem more influential, more memorable, or more respected, not because they are more skilled or intelligent, but because something in their presence anchors attention and inspires confidence. Underneath it all grows a quiet question. Is it possible to command attention and respect without raising your voice or demanding it? The path out of this quiet fog is one that the Stoics walked 2,000 years ago. They taught that true presence is not loudness but focused stillness, a cultivated ability to root yourself in whatever moment you are in, fully awake to every sensation, aware of your own thoughts and those of others, yet ruled by neither. It means showing up, intentionally, to the page of your life that is being written right now. Imagine yourself as a ship with a deep keel, gliding purposefully through a silent sea, every motion deliberate, every response chosen rather than hurried. This daily cultivation of presence grants you a power that cannot be faked. Your attention gathers like a silent current, drawing others in and holding them there, making even ordinary exchanges seem memorable and vital. The process of developing this quality is gentle but firm, rooted in habitual awareness and disciplined attention. Start by treating presence like a muscle that is strengthened by conscious effort each day. Waking up in the morning to silence, centering yourself before you speak, listening with the intent to truly understand rather than simply reply. Over time, you'll notice a change. Anxiety and distraction begin to loosen their grip, conversations become more meaningful, and people are naturally drawn toward your orbit. This shift is subtle. From scattered light to focused beam, from anxious energy to calm command, from a presence that flickers to one that glows with constant, steady warmth. What's hidden in this ancient practice is the secret that presence is neither inherited nor accidental. It is a conscious act, a kind of still fire cultivated within and revealed with practice. The world is hungry for people who are fully present, those who see clearly, listen deeply, and stand rooted in whatever circumstances may come. As you commit to this journey, you step into that rare company. Your emotional control becomes sharper, your mind calmer, fears dissolve as you anchor deeper in the now, and the impact you have on the world and those around you begins to grow, quietly but unmistakably, one intentional moment at a time. Start your day with 1 minute of silent awareness. Focus fully on each conversation and pause to breathe deeply before reacting. These small practices root you in the present, increasing attention, calm, and respect from others. Commit now to this daily presence. Next, discover how purposeful restraint makes your actions unstoppable. Subscribe, like, and share how presence is changing you. Lesson 5. Lead with purposeful restraint. Visualize a skilled swordsman standing before his opponent, yet choosing not to swing. His true mastery is revealed not by the wildness of his strikes, but by the absolute control he exercises. Measured, unhurried, and certain. The blade he wields may be sharp, but it is his restraint that makes him unstoppable, commanding quiet respect with every composed breath and disciplined step. In a world where everyone seems compelled to react quickly or to dominate conversations with unchecked force, the Stoic presence and purposeful restraint become a profound advantage, setting apart those who are truly powerful from those merely loud. Every day presents us with moments when our impulse is to act or speak before reflection. Perhaps you recognize the familiar urge to prove yourself in an argument, driven by the heat of emotion rather than the clarity of reason. There are times when, stunned by criticism or a perceived slight, you feel the urge to let loose a storm of words or actions you may soon regret. Even daily interactions can become battlefields for ego, where winning a point feels momentarily vital, but leaves a lingering aftertaste of regret, tension, or misunderstanding. This is an inner conflict that lies at the heart of emotional mastery, a potent mixture of pride, impatience, wounded feelings, and the survival instinct to guard your place in the world. The pain points here are subtle yet deeply felt. The more often we rush to respond out of fear, anger, or insecurity, the more likely we are to undermine our own standing, leaving behind a trail of broken trust, missed opportunities, or shallow victories. Hasty words carry a weight that is hard to reclaim. Rapid actions driven by impulse often ripple with consequences long after the moment has passed. Over time, these habits can erode confidence in relationships, leaving us reactive and unpredictable in the eyes of others. Even self-respect suffers as we notice the gulf between temporary satisfaction and the kind of impact we truly wish to have. But what if you could harness restraint not as suppression, but as a deliberate superpower? Picture yourself as the archer who draws his bow, yet waits for the wind to steady before releasing the arrow. There is wisdom in holding energy back just long enough for your mind and emotions to come into alignment with your deeper values and goals. Purposeful restraint is not weakness, it's an act of tremendous will, a silent assertion that you are not mastered by impulse, but instead are mastering yourself. Ancient Stoics spoke again and again about choosing your response, knowing that influence is often greatest when actions are measured. Words spoken with intention are remembered longer and strike deeper than those poured out in haste. The potential benefits of leading with purposeful restraint are vast. You become trusted and respected, not because you always speak first or loudest, but because your words and actions always seem timely, thoughtful, and steeped in presence. Challenges arise, a colleague provokes, an opportunity appears uncertain, a friend disappoints. But instead of lashing out or charging forward blindly, you respond as a calm captain navigating a difficult passage. Adjusting your course only after studying the signs, waiting out the storm when needed, saving your strength for when action is truly necessary. This subtle strength becomes magnetic. Others perceive you as consistent, dependable, and wise. Even when adversity strikes, your composed demeanor inspires confidence and draws others closer. Adopting purposeful restraint, you awaken a still fire within, a disciplined mind immune to chaos, a steady hand despite temptation or pressure. As you commit to this principle, each moment of quiet decision strengthens your impact, building a reputation as someone both undefeatable and deeply attractive in their calm. The lesson is ancient but alive. Each measured pause, each breath you take before speaking or acting is not time wasted but power harnessed. Fuel for a journey defined not by reckless action, but by true mastery and presence. Take a full breath before speaking or acting, give yourself permission to wait for clarity, and practice ending small disputes in silence. These simple acts build patience, deepen self-respect, and make your influence feel effortless. Start leading with mindful restraint today. Next, discover how calm masculine energy changes everything. Subscribe, like, and share your experiences with Stoic ruler below. Lesson 6. Radiate calm, masculine energy. Envision a mountain standing alone at dawn, roots deep in the unseen earth, peak reaching quietly into the unchanging sky. No matter what storms pass or shadows stretch across its form, this mountain remains anchored and calm, radiating a sovereign presence to all who pass. Such is the quality of calm masculine energy, not aggressive or domineering, not clamorous or desperate for attention, but steady and quiet, a source of unshakable command and comfort both to oneself and those nearby. Like the silent fire that glows but never rages, this kind of energy inspires trust, commands respect, and gently attracts by its effortless gravity. The struggle to maintain or even find this inner calm is one familiar to many men. The pressures of daily life, with its unending demands and constant noise, can make it feel almost impossible to stay grounded. There are moments when anger seems justified, when frustration boils beneath the surface after work disappointments or conflict with loved ones. Anxiety grows in the face of uncertainty about the future, and it is easy to believe you must compete noisily for your place or defend yourself in every misunderstanding. You might catch yourself reacting harshly, speaking too quickly, or feeling your strength slip away as insecurity and doubt swarm your mind. In these moments, calm energy is replaced by restlessness and scattered force. Presence dissolves, and mastery feels out of reach. These inner storms bring not just momentary discomfort, but real consequences for how you are perceived and what you experience. Under pressure, many men default to one of two extremes: explosive reactivity, where anger spills out and leaves regret behind, or icy withdrawal, shutting down altogether until the demands of life seem overwhelming. People sense this volatility and may keep their distance, robbing you of true connection and diminishing your impact. The lack of consistent, anchored calmness can turn daily life into a series of battles, breeding exhaustion, strained relationships, and missed opportunities for growth. There is, too, a nagging sense that you're never truly in control. No matter what role you fill, chaos always seems close behind, just waiting to sweep in. The solution, ancient and quietly revolutionary, lies in practicing the art of calm masculine presence regardless of external noise or internal pressure. Imagine yourself as the ship's captain steering into the open sea at night, guided not by the visibility of the coastline, but by the inner resolve and known constellations. The Stoic way is not to suppress feeling, but to let every emotion pass through, collected and respectful, until you are left with clear intention and sturdy resolve. It is the act of noticing the storm, but breathing steadily, moving slowly, choosing what matters and letting go of everything else, holding tension without being ruled by it. Radiating calm begins with awareness, with the silent watcher inside you, observing your impulses and guiding your words with intention. It deepens as you anchor yourself to rituals, a deep breath before you respond to a challenge, time each day to be alone with your thoughts, reminders to relax tight muscles when tension creeps in. With each practice, you become the mountain. Pressure might swirl, demands rise and crash, but your energy does not fracture. Instead, your calmness softens conflict, transforms anxiety, and sends out a quiet, powerful signal of mastery that others instinctively trust. This kind of stillness is magnetic. It draws people in and makes them want to mirror your steadiness, and it invests every goal and relationship you pursue with a discipline that is silent but undefeatable. As you grow in this practice, the world around you will start to reflect your newfound steadiness. Conflict lessens, fears recede, and doors once barred by anxiety or uncertainty quietly unlock. Begin by pausing when tensions rise, slow your breathing, and remind yourself to speak with intention instead of haste. Hold your posture tall and face challenges with a thoughtful gaze. With practice, your calm will feel natural and unforced, attracting trust and peace. Next, you'll discover the power of disciplined stillness. Subscribe, like, and share your reflections below. Lesson 7. Attract through disciplined stillness. Imagine an ancient tree at the edge of a wide field, its roots tangled deep into the earth, its branches motionless against the evening breeze. While lesser trees sway, whisper, and bend to every gust, this one stands in a profound, unwavering stillness that draws the eyes and quiets the surrounding world. It does not seek attention in the way that flowers might, nor does it dance for approval. Instead, it cultivates a disciplined, immovable presence so that even in silence, it commands gravity and respect. This stillness becomes its own language, powerful, magnetic, and rare. For many people on the path of self-mastery, the idea of stillness feels almost foreign or even uncomfortable. In a culture that prizes speed, hustle, and instant reaction, our instincts often urge us into movement at the first sign of tension or uncertainty. Silence can seem like a void to be filled with action. Moments of inactivity breed anxiety or fear of missing out. There's an inner conflict, a tug-of-war between the drive to constantly do, prove, achieve, and the quieter wisdom whispering that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. We fear that, in being still, we might lose ground or fail to seize an opportunity, when in fact, stillness can unlock a deeper power than any frantic activity. This push for perpetual motion creates challenges that wear on the spirit. Reactivity becomes a habit, replying to messages instantly, jumping to answer every problem, rushing conversations or decisions because stillness feels like an uncomfortable confession of weakness. Some people mirror the world's noise, trying to impress and persuade by being constantly on, but at the cost of exhaustion and authenticity. Others freeze when overwhelmed, mistaking avoidance for stillness. Yet inside, they're churned by restlessness and uncertainty. The inability to rest in disciplined stillness can leave us easily rattled by setbacks, desperate for assurance, and always chasing validation rather than attracting it. The ancient wisdom of the Stoics offers a transformational answer, inviting us to the practice of disciplined stillness. Not the stillness of hiding from life, nor the passivity of resignation, but that hard-won quiet at the center of the storm. It is the still fire that burns within the disciplined soul, focused, intentional, and at peace with both movement and inactivity. This type of stillness comes from trust in your internal compass, the deep understanding that action born from a calm center is infinitely stronger than the reflex of anxiety or insecurity. Imagine again the archer, who draws his bow not in haste, but in patient silence, waiting for the precise moment of release. His calm is not empty or indifferent. The energy is gathered, potent, and ready, but controlled in perfect discipline. When you intentionally cultivate this stillness, new strengths begin to surface. Obstacles lose their power to intimidate. You tap into a place of deep listening, stronger empathy, and courageous restraint. In business, relationships, or any pursuit, people feel the gravity of your presence. They can sense that you're not moved by every whim or provocation, but rather you hold a space of unwavering confidence and poise. In this way, you attract opportunities, loyalty, and respect without chasing them. The world, like iron filings before a magnet, quietly orients itself to those who are anchored. Disciplined stillness, then, is both a strategy and a secret. It trains the mind, unlocks influence, and positions you as a silent stoic who is calm, attractive, and truly undefeatable no matter what passes across the field of your days. Practice pausing before you react. Set clear intentions for your actions, and find moments each day to be silent and attentive. This will invite calm confidence, deepen your focus, and naturally draw others toward you. Begin weaving this stillness into your life today, and let each moment of quiet signal your growth and authentic strength in the world. You've journeyed through the art of mastering emotion, building confidence, letting go of outside approval, and embracing powerful stillness. Each lesson helps you unlock stoic strength within and radiate authentic impact. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to keep growing with the Stoic Ruler community.